grab your boards. Welcome all surfers to Wavy's Atlantic Ocean. Surf, 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 baby. You wanna surf on the tidal wavy? Yeah. Twerk, baby. For certain, she moving so perfect. Surf, baby. You wanna surf on the tidal wavy? Twerk, baby. I'm loving the way that you surf it.
All my niggas, they gangbang, and all these niggas do the same thing. Counting money, living insane. Steady mobbing, let my flag hang. Told them I'm ready. I'm throwing them monster like Randy. I know that these niggas can't stand me, but the automatic come in handy.
Yo, you already know it's ATM Wavy, aka Mr. OMG, and you know it's me. And it's Wavy's world. Salute to all the surfers, you already know. It's another Surfing Nation situation, you feel me? Alright, you know we about to hit that wave cave. Yo, you already know it's me, ATM Wavy. And this is Wavy's world. Salute to all the surfers, I appreciate y'all pulling up. So, we're gonna get right into it. Alright, now for those that don't know, I'm gonna inform you, Larry Hoover, the founder of the Gangster Disciples or Growth and Development, alright, he has been, well, his sentence has been commuted. He had been pardoned. His sentence has been commuted. From my understanding, NBA YoungBoy was pardoned though. But anyway, his sentence has been commuted, so that's the federal sentence. But he still has the state situation going on, you know what I'm saying, which is the 200-year sentence. So I don't know how that one is going to end up playing out, but the federal sentence is over with. All right, boom. So right here we got 1090 Jake. For those that don't know who this is, he's a blood out of Boston. All right, that's where he originally from, but I believe he claimed Florida as far as like where he started banging from. You know what I'm saying? I believe it was Florida, right? But he's from Boston. Anyway, he's known for getting paperwork on dudes, you know what I'm saying? So right here, we're going to talk about Larry Hoover because 1090 Jake is pointing out something that was pointed out to him apparently about Larry Hoover past and the fact that he may have told. But we're gonna go ahead and get straight to the video. I'm gonna try not to pause it too much, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all was on me, well, it wasn't old subscribers though, it was all like just random, you feel me? You know what I mean? But a couple people was complaining about the B braids and whack video, which salute to y'all because y'all made that video go dummy, you feel me, quick too on the set. Like I made that go dumb quick, you feel me? And that was a good welcome back per performance. You know what I'm talking about? Because you know I was in Newark, you feel me? So boom. I'm gonna try not to pause this one too much and everything. We're gonna go ahead and let it rock out for the most part. I'm going to pause it, like, you feel me? It's a reaction video, you understand? But I'm gonna let it rock out for the most part. Then you know we're gonna get into it, you feel me?
This video, we're gonna be speaking on some prehistoric paperwork that hit the internet that I'm not even responsible for, but I fact checked it. And in this video, we're gonna be speaking on Larry Hoover identifying two rival gang members to police that shot him.
Tell him, bruh. Who free, bruh? My mother, he free. Who? Larry Hoover, he free, bruh. Yes, sir. Larry free. They mad that we is GD. Free them gangsters. Free Larry Hoover.
Now, President Trump just gave the presidential middle finger to anyone who ever called him racist after not only pardoning NBA YoungBoy who's about to go on a mega tour, but commuting the sentence of the Larry Hoover.
His name is Larry Hoover. He's the reputed leader of the Black Gangster Disciples street gang, one of the largest in the nation. For 20 years, he's been locked behind prison walls because of a murder conviction. This week, he goes before the state parole board, and he could soon be a free man.
Done my time. I paid my debt to society. Anytime you do a extensive amount of time, it can have two effects. It can harden you, or it can make you think. And I've thought.
Now, for those that don't know, Larry Hoover is the founder and former leader of the Gangster Disciples, a major street gang based in Chicago that spread from the Midwest, dominating parts of the South, and even reaching out to the Northeast. To this day, many prominent rappers are members of the Gangster Disciples, while other rappers have been known sworn enemies to the Gangster Disciples. Larry Hoover, a kingpin, gang lord, murderer, is a man whose name has held power for over 50 years. But today, his legacy is in question as the unthinkable has happened. Remo from No Jumper would post to Instagram a photo of what appears to be prehistoric paperwork, detailing a shooting in which Larry Hoover himself was the victim. Parker High School sat in the Inglewood neighborhood on the south side of Chicago. On September 4th, 1968, it was the first day of school, and it would be turned to a crime scene. Leader of the Supreme Gangsters,
Wait, I have to pause it real quick. Look at my son Larry here, bro. Listen, or sis, you know what I'm saying? You know, for the females out here, the sisters, you know what I'm talking about. But yo, check out my son hairstyle. Like, tell me my son ain't the super duper Mr. Magnetic Pimp. Like, tell me that like my son over here looking like one of the 5 heartbeats, nigga. A temptation on. You feel me? Alright, let's get back into it.
18-year-old Larry Hoover informed the police that he was standing in the school hall just outside the principal's office when 2 members of the East Side Disciples appeared. They were identified as 18-year-old James Highsmith and 20-year-old Leonard Longstreet, and they did not go to Parker High. Hoover told police the 2 walked past me in the hall, and Highsmith smiled. Then Longstreet said, "Burn him," and Highsmith pulled a gun and started shooting. I got hit. Larry Hoover, the 18-year-old leader of the Supreme Gangsters that came before the Gangster Disciples' creation, flat out told the police 2 rival gang members entered his school and shot him. Bullets struck 2 other students, both 15 years old. Larry and the 2 others were all shot in the legs and rushed to a hospital. Only minutes after the shooting, police arrested the 2 gang members who were out on bond for 2 separate shootings. A Cook County grand jury would indict the 2 men on charges of aggravated battery on Larry Hoover. Now, this is going to piss a lot of people off, but before I do that, I wanted to confirm whether this was even true, because this didn't seem to be an arrest report. This looked like a newspaper clipping. So I dug into the Chicago Tribune dating back 57 years ago, and what I found was page 14 of the Chicago Tribune from September 5th, 1968, the day after the shooting. The article was titled, "Police Arrest 2 in Shooting of 3 Students, Gang Rivalry Blamed for Violence." 3 youths were shot down in Parker High School in what police described as a continuing battle between rival street gangs. Inglewood police said the shooters were identified by the victims in the hospital and several other witnesses. The police identified Larry Hoover as a gang member, and again, the article would state Hoover told police who shot him and how it happened. Now, this would be considered snitching by anyone following the quote-unquote code. But what about the one who created the code? This was Larry fucking Hoover, the founder of the Gangster Disciples, a man whose name is at the top of Chicago gang lore along with Al Capone. And this wasn't the last time he'd be mentioned in a newspaper. 2 years later, it was 1970, and Hoover was one of 3 arrested for gunning down a 19-year-old on 69th. 3 years after that, a 24-year-old was kidnapped and shot to death. Hoover would be picked up on a murder warrant, and a week later a witness set to testify against Hoover was found dead on the south side with 2 holes in the back of his head. It was too late though. The 26-year-old had already given a deposition to police stating he witnessed Hoover and another man kidnap the victim the day before the victim was murdered. They dump his body in an alley, allegedly because he was suspected of stealing drugs from the gang's supply. This murder was what took Larry Hoover off the streets of Chicago at the age of 23. Deemed a ruthless killer who'd been involved in multiple shootings and murders, Hoover was sentenced to 200 years in state prison. While inside, Hoover continued to lead the Gangster Disciples, which led to a 17-year federal investigation. In 1995, Hoover was indicted by the feds from state prison and 2 years later sentenced to 6 federal life sentences for conspiracy, extortion, money laundering, drugs, and continuing to engage in a criminal enterprise. Larry Hoover ran the Illinois state prison system like a gangster disciple warden, so the feds took him where he'd be helpless, stripping him of all power. In prison since 1973, Hoover spent nearly 30 years at ADX Florence, the federal supermax. His neighbors would be terrorists, mass killers, and cartel leaders. His cell could only hold 1 man. A shower would be brought to his cell, and his mail would be seen through a screen as physically touching it was too much of a privilege. Larry Hoover, for the last 30 years, has been in a cold concrete hell until now. Trump commuted the sentence of Larry Hoover, which led many to believe Hoover was going to be a free man. But many fail to realize Hoover was serving 200 years before the feds stepped in, and he has to finish it. A bittersweet victory for those that know him, as he's one step closer to home, being now that he'll be back in Illinois. But at 78 years old, it isn't known how long he has to continue fighting for his freedom. One would assume he'd be treated like a god in Illinois State Prison. The man is a Chicago legend, but one can also wonder, why is it always when someone's about to be released, paperwork comes out of nowhere? We saw the same thing happen with Big Meech, and how everyone, including Meech, thought he'd be welcomed home like royalty, and instead, the former drug lord is doing Instagram promo.
And he ain't mentioned also BG. For those that remember that when BG came home, you feel me? Whack. That's the only person I even gotta say. That way, if you need to go find it, if you ain't hear about it, or don't know what I'm talking about, that's what I gotta do. BG, whack, snitching. It put them keywords in, you feel me? But they're trying to say BG was telling when he came home, when him and Wack started going at it and everything, you feel me? I ain't gonna get into all the detail. Like I said, typing those keywords, you for sure going to find it, you feel me? But yeah, that just be crazy how dudes come home at the mad years of doing time, and like all of a sudden things start coming out. But that go to show though, whatever happens in the dark come to the light. That's why, man, just keep it real in the field, man. Even on this YouTube thing, just keep it real, because you will get exposed.
But what about the GDs? How are they gonna react to reading the clear black and white of Larry Hoover, the very founder of their beliefs, identifying the 2 rival gang members who shot him when he was 18? Does it not count because it was so long ago, or because Hoover became so powerful, nobody dared talk about his statement without the risk of being killed? As of May 29, 2025, Larry Hoover is no longer in federal custody, and according to the Illinois Department of Corrections, he's been transferred to Dixon Correctional Center, a medium security prison.
Yo, that sentence would say 200 years at the bottom. You don't see. Look at my cursor moving. That's crazy work to even see that as your sentence, my nigga. I ain't gonna lie, that's just crazy.
Hoover's current release date is October 25th, 2066. Now I'm gonna say this first and foremost, and with all due respect. If you weren't born in the 50s or the 60s or are a direct relative of Larry Hoover, I don't give a fuck what you have to say. Because if you're one of these GDs that's my age, 30 or younger or even older,
that nigga said, I don't give a fuck. Oh, look at the face. I paused him. That was no. My son looked like the Gerber baby, like he crying for bye-bye. He crying for that shit right now. Let me stop geeking. Yo, I'm funny as hell, Moo.
talking about why are you talking about it? He don't even know who the fuck you are. This man's been in prison since 1973, so you can save all that gangster shit. I don't want a bunch of pitchforks emojis on my fucking Instagram. I don't give a fuck, to be honest. But it's very interesting that this paperwork came out of nowhere, right? I don't know who had this shit. I don't know if the Stones was holding it. I don't know if somebody was waiting for it, right? But they literally waited until his sentence got commuted, which nobody expected, and then boom, this shit hits the internet. I didn't do it. I don't know where it came from. But I looked into it, and yes, I found multiple articles detailing what took place. And that's what happened. Larry Hoover got shot on his first day of school. He was most likely a senior since he was 18. Two rival gang members walked into school and shot him out front of the principal's office. That's some gangster shit. If this doesn't make you look at Chicago like, holy fuck, it's been like that forever. This was in the 60s. They're walking in schools with guns and popping off in the fucking hallway. This shit was like that in the 60s. He got hit with a 32, which is probably why he survived. But then apparently Hoover went on to...
That's not a fact. It don't matter because he got hit with a 32. Listen, them smaller bullets be the worst. I mean, granted, going in, the initial travel, you know what I mean, the kinetic force when it hits your body and all that, yeah, that is less. So it probably could, I guess you could say probably why a person survived if that little bullet probably like hit something, you feel me, and slow down and stop compared to something bigger. But deuce bullets, which is smaller than a 32. Man, if you know, you know. Know what I'm saying? Them the bouncers. So I ain't gonna lie, sometimes that smaller joint is the worst one. And if it break up into pieces, you know, that's harder to get out. That's a high chance you gotta leave that bullet in you. You know what I'm saying? When it's those smaller joints. The bigger joints, the bigger bullets, you don't really hear too many times dudes gotta leave them bullets in. It be stuff like 9s and smaller, 9mm and smaller. A lot of times that joint end up being lodged somewhere and all that. It'd be crazy. Like, so them small, don't sleep on them small joints. You feel me? I love a 38 special. That's all I'm saying, big baby.
Killing spree and was just smacking shit. And you gotta understand, Hoover got taken off the street at 23 years old. This man was a certified smacker, leader. But unfortunately, if you go by the paperwork, he's also what? He'd be considered a snitch, right?
So boom. One way to end that one off, right? Yeah, you know what I mean? So first we're gonna say this, right? I'm gonna keep it real. Son told, right? And I'm gonna say this too, 1090J. Listen, I don't know how some of you may feel about Son, because some people don't like Son, you feel me, for whatever their reason is. He be doing his due diligence, all right? He's not really known for having falls, like messing up. I believe he messed up one time, like a while ago he first got started doing this. But I mean, his overall record, he be pretty smooth with it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give it a son. So with that being said, he said he did all his research. We seen what he found. Well, first, what do y'all think? I hit the comment section up. Like, what do y'all think? And keep it real. Like, I know Larry, the same way Meech, and this person, all these people, and then things getting, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you know what I mean? You might be a little bit dirty. You know what I mean? We ain't talking about the money. You feel me? So, yeah, keep it real. Cause me personally, I'm gonna say, Larry, you did some telling. You know what I'm saying? That was definitely some telling. You feel me? And he was 18. Alright, so it ain't even can't even give. You can't even try to even look at it like, alright, he was a little nigga juvenile. You feel me? Like, you can't even hit him with that. Even though as a kid, like me personally, I grew up getting my eyes whooped for telling. So it was like even before the streets, my mind automatically like telling is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it prepared. I be thinking a lot of dudes didn't get their ass whooped, or at least they didn't get whooped good enough. You feel me? For telling, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, he did that in my eyes, from my view. Now, boom, he's in the state now. He's no longer in federal custody. That's over. So, first of all, I don't know, same way he said, like, as far as now with this being out, how the yard will receive him. You know what I'm saying? Because, yes, he's old. He's a classic. You know how old he said that dude is? Like, son is up in the upper 70s. Like, damn. So, it's like, some dudes might give him a pass, you feel me? Because of that. And you got some that don't care. You feel me? Especially if they from the quote unquote opposition anyway, and they doing whatever kind of time. You know what I'm saying? Something could happen to them. You feel me? Something could happen to them. You know what I mean? So I don't know, because with this being out, is out to the public. You feel me? A lot of people gonna say, bro, told. You know what I'm saying? We gotta keep it real. Like I said, I want to hear y'all opinion. You might feel different. You know what I'm saying? But also, I want to speak on the fact that the 200 years he got, it's like, yo, y'all might well let that old dude go. Like, son been in there since he was 20, 23, 10 to 90 was saying. Like, bro, he been in like 50 something years. Like, what you want him to do? You know what I'm saying? And you can't blame him for everything that GD did. You know what I'm saying? You can't even do that. You have to deal with him for him. You know what I'm saying? So now they is saying he took something, he responsible for taking some lives. You feel me? Like, he had his hand in that cookie jar. Alright, boom. With that one, it's like, alright, me coming from the streets, I'm still gonna say you don't gotta finish him off, because let's say this is true, right? That shit happened mad long ago, son, mad old, like, you feel me? And even for the family, that's probably gonna be like, but they still lost their loved one, blah, blah, right? Alright, speaking from my point of view, still, if it mean that much, let him out and smack him down. Like, I'm just keeping it real. You feel me? So, with that being said, 200 years, like, son, like 78, 70, whatever he just said, son, like, homie is prehistoric, basically. Like, he on his way there. You know what I mean? He on his way to that level. You feel me? So, hopefully something good come out of that stateside. But, you know, shout out to Trump. Yo, Trump be coming through, you feel me? I ain't gonna lie, he be coming through with something. But right now, Trump, you been bugging though lately. Word up, man. And Elon, I gotta holler at both of these niggas, you feel me? Like, they gotta tighten up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I don't really get it. But anyway, so that's that. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Ain't gonna make this too long, but this is a situation I had to get situated. You feel me? Cause that was crazy when I caught piece. I'm like, oh wait, you trying to say Larry too? Like, god damn, like all the greats is like, it's not so great. You feel me? That shit crazy. Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, think about it. Like, shit crazy, yo. Man, that's why look, man. Look. Just stay out these streets. You feel me? If you ain't already step in it, don't step in it. You know what I'm saying? Just live vicariously through people like me and that tell these stories and that cover this. You know what I'm saying? You better play GTA. I be on that GTA RP too. Stop it, Fog. I'm getting better and better. Start streaming sooner or later. But anyway, yeah, so do that, man, because you don't gotta deal with all this, the possibilities of this and that, because you got real gangsters out here being real, you know what I mean, chatty patties. So, you know, just stay away from them. You know what I mean, get that regular, good, clean bread. You don't gotta look over your shoulder bread, but you always gotta look over your shoulder. You gotta be on point anyway. It can happen to anybody and anywhere, but it's not to the level that niggas got, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you running around doing, you gotta watch even the cops. See, when you doing right, the cops is one less thing you gotta worry about. See, you know what I mean? Give yourself less worries, you feel me? Stress-free, that's the way to be, you know what I'm talking about? So anyway, you already know, it's ATM Wavy, aka Mr. OMG, and you know it's me, and it's Wavy's world. Salute to all the surfers, man. You know I appreciate when y'all be pulling up, you feel me? And of course, I need y'all to hit that like. I gotta get in that algorithm. The likes is what they saying be doesn't it? So I need y'all to be doing it. I appreciate it, you feel me? Hit that like, you know what I'm saying? Hit the basement, the comment section. Speak your piece. Yo, all the GDs and everything come across this, you feel me? Speak your piece, how you feel, because this is really hitting close to home for y'all, for real. You feel me? And of course, I need y'all to hit that sub, holla at the blood, join the Surfing Nation. I mean, we always waiting. And hit that notification bell. Y'all got a lot of ands. So I gotta make sure y'all hear me, because I might forget. Hit that notification bell, so when I drop something, it's gonna yell. And now, it's, of course, last but not least, always look both ways before you cross that street, because you might get hit.
But if the boy tall slick, I'ma blaze some.